Hi fellow beaders, it's JP, and yes, I'm on camera. I don't typically do this, but I just wanted to say hello and well, just say hello. I haven't done it in a while. And well, here's the bracelet for today. Here's the design that we're going to be working on, and I will show you a close-up in just a second. And behind me is my beading desk, and you can see the lamps on it and so forth. So I'm just doing this quick little recording to say hello and ask you guys if there's so I'm looking to do, improve my videos and to provide content that you guys actually want to see. So what I wanted to ask you was, are there questions you want me to answer, certain things that you want to see in the tutorials? What's your beading pain point? Is what I'm trying to figure out so that I can do better videos for you. So comment below and let me know. And also join my newsletter. It's at www.jrpdesigns.net. And I'm always giving you more tips and little things about beading because, beads are my obsession. Anyway, let's go take a look at the bracelet for today and let's get started. Here's the close-up of the bracelet as promised. As I said, I think it came out really nice. And as far as materials go, this is a 6-inch bracelet, so I ended up making a total of 8 components. So you can adjust accordingly. So if you need an 8-inch, you probably want to make at least 1 to 2 more components. You'll be able to figure that out based on your clasp and so forth. So you'll know how many beads you need. So I used a total of 8 8mm beads, superduos, and 11-os. In addition, I needed lobster claw, or I didn't use a lobster claw. This time it's a spring clasp and 2 jump rings. Of course, you need a beading needle, and I used about somewhere between 5 to 7 feet of thread. So it just, again, it'll depend on the length that you need. So I would say start with the thread that you're comfortable working with and then add more thread as you go. Well, let's get started. To begin our bracelet, what you're going to do is pick up 8 superduos and 8 11-os in alternating order like I have here. And we are going to tie a knot. So we're going to make a little circle of our beads here. So I am just tying a square knot, so nothing too complicated. And I just want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. And there we are. There's a knot. So now turn your work in the direction that's comfortable. So I'm working upwards. That's more comfortable for me. I'm going to go through my superduo here. And pops the knot. You can hear it pop into place. So make sure this is tight. And if you need to go through it again, that's perfectly fine. But you want a fairly tight circle. Now go ahead and go into the second hole of the superduo that you're coming out of. And I'm just going to flip the work again, so I'm still continuing to work in sort of the upward direction here. Okay. And I realize I forgot to turn my lights on. So readjust the focus and the lighting. Here we are. Okay, now we can work. All right, so I picked up an 11-o, and I'm going to go into this next superduo here. And this is my tail here, which I'm going to just turn in the other direction and get it out of the way for a second. Alright, so there's one 11-o right there. Pick up another 11-o and go through the next bead, or the next superduo. So we're going to put an 11-0 between all of the superduos. Okay, there we go. Gotta keep dropping the beads. So you're gonna be pushing the superduos up straight. All right, I'm just gonna do this a few more times. And last time. Okay, so we're going to go through the superduo, the 11-0, and another superduo. And what I've done is just pulled my, just give it a nice tight pull. So just, so this is what it looks like. It's like a little double ring. And this will get loose. That's okay. We have a few other steps that should tighten it all up, and I'm going to get this tail back out of the way. I don't even know how it came back up. And here we are there. So now I'm coming out of this superduo there. So what I'm going to do is pick up 3 11-0s, and I'm going to skip this 11-0 and just go into the next superduo, 11-0, and superduo. And do it again. I'm going to pick up 3, skip the 11-0, and then go through a superduo 11-0, and if you can, the next superduo. I couldn't quite get the angle, so I'm just going to go through that one. And that's what you should get. Now repeat again. Skip the 11-0 and go through the next superduo, 11-0, superduo. And depending on how the superduo, so this is not going to be tough, it's just a matter of how the superduos are sitting. So the holes don't always line up exactly from all the beads. And there we are. So you should have 3 points so far. And I'm going to pick up 3 more and go through all of the beads here. So, well, at least the superduo. There we go. Now, what you want to do is come out of this point bead here. So I'm exiting out of a superduo. I just got to make my way over. So I'm just going to turn the work for a second. Go through the 11-0, the superduo, and if you can, the 2 11-0s to get to that top point bead. And that's what you have so far. So now what you're going to do is pick up 5 11-0 beads. That's 4. I need 1 more. That's 5. And you're going to go back around the same 11-0 from which the thread is exiting. Just like that. So here's where I'm exiting. Now I'm going to go through 1 11-0. I'm going to pick up another 11-0. And I'm going to go through the next 2 11-0s here. Just like so. Go through 1 more 11-0. And pick up another 11-0 and go through these last 2 11-0s. Give it a tug and you should get a nice little diamond point. And this is where you're going to put a jump ring in here, and this is for your clasp. Now we're going to continue, and we want to make our way out or actually before we go all the way here, we want to make our way to this bead here. So I'm going to continue through the superduo, or the next 11-0, superduo 11-0 here. And then superduo and my 11-0 there. I'm going to pick up my 8mm bead. And pop it in the center. And then go through the 11-0 on this other side here. Go back through the 8mm. And give it a good pull so everything's snug. And then what you're going to do is go through the 11-0 here. So this should feel very secure, and if not, then go back through all of those beads again. Now we are going to continue into the superduo 11-0. Then the next superduo, and I'm just going to turn it to the side because it's an easier angle to work. And 2 of the superduos so that I'm coming out of the point. All right, so now we're going to pick up 5 11-0 beads, just like this, and we're going to go back around this 11-0. Here's what I got. Now go through the first 11-0. Pick up an 11-0 and go through the next 2 11-0s, and that should get you a point there. Go through 1 more 11-0, and I pulled my thread so tight that I pulled it out of the needle. I unthreaded my needle. Always love when I do that. Gotta rethread my needle. Alright, now I'm going to pick up an 11-0. I'm going to go through this 11-0 and the 11-0 that's connected to my component. Now you got to make your way back to this point here. And you can go through and reinforce it too. I'm using monofilament thread, so it's a little bit thicker, and if I go through it again, it'll just make it harder to get through the beads. So here's where we are at. So you're going to pick up an 11-0, a superduo, 11-0, superduo, and you're going to pick up 8 superduos. So I've got 3. That's 4. 5 superduos. 6 superduos. 7. I need 1 more. 8. And I also need to end with an 11-0. So bring those all the way down. And then you go back through this 11-0 here. And that's what you should have. So we're starting on our second component. Now I'm going to turn the work this way, so we're kind of looking at the back view here. And I'm going to go through this 11-0 here and just the first superduo. Go into the upper hole of the superduo, or the second hole of the same superduo from which your thread is exiting. Turn the work back. and, or I guess you don't need to turn the work back. We're going to continue adding beads. So pick up an 11-0 and go into the next superduo here. So make sure there's no slack in your thread, and continue adding beads between each of the superduos. Oh, there. Just make sure, again, tension is important in this particular project. So when we started the components, the first component, we started with the bottom, and then we worked on the top of the component. This time, we start at the top, we finish up the bottom, and then we go back to the top. So this is the bottom of your component, and I'm adding my last 11-0. I'm going to go through this 11-0, and I'm going to go through the next superduo. And once you pull tight, this is what you're going to get, which is basically the back part of the component. And then you're going to switch and go into the second hole of the superduo here. And I'm going to turn the work so that now I'm looking at the top of the bracelet. I'm going to pick up an 11-0 and I'm going to go through this next superduo. So I have this, which mimics this right here. And then I'm going to go through the 11-0 and superduo here. Add 3 11-0s. Skip this 11-0 and then go through the superduo 11-0. Superduo. Just like so. Do it again, pick up 3 11-0s, skip this one, and go through the next 3 beads. So, and that'll be 2 superduos and the 11-0 in between them. Last time, 3. Just like that. Almost done with the component. So, coming out of the superduo there, I'm going to go through this 11-0 here, and I want to come out of the 11-0 that's over here so I can add in my focal bead. Add in the 8mm. So go through as many as you can. And 2 more. Okay, there I am. I'm going to take my 8mm, bring it down. Sorry if you guys couldn't see there, I was out of frame, apologize. So here's where I'm at. Go through this 11-0 here. Give everything a good pull. Go back through the 8mm. Another good pull through the 11-0. And you'll know that you want to go through it from the opposite side. So I went through it coming out of this way, and I want to go back through it on this side. And then I'm going to continue through to the superduo. And now I am set to add my next component. So I'm going to go through these beads until I get to this point bead. And I'm going to go through. So I just went through 11-0 and the superduo. Go through this next set. Just like this. And you're all set. So continue onward. You just keep building until you get the length that you desire. So very easy little components or bracelet, and it'll make up very, very quickly, probably in about an hour. All right, we'll be back in a second. Okay, fellow beaders, well, here is my finished bracelet, and I think it looks really, really nice. It came out really good. So I hope you guys will try this out, and post a picture on my Facebook page. I always love seeing the colors you guys use, and that's all I got. So also don't forget to sign up for my email newsletter at www.jrpdesigns.net. Thanks. See you next time.